Hello, everyone. Sue.oneschuk here, continuing the workbook lessons of A Course in Miracles. And today we are on review one. We're continuing review one of the workbook, and we are on lesson 53. So again, in this review, each day we are reviewing 5 of the previous lessons of the previous 100 or previous 50, I should say. And there's a brief paragraph that goes along with each one of those particular lessons. So I will read them. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Since the thoughts of which I'm aware do not mean anything, the world that pictures them can have no meaning. What is producing this world is insane, and so is what it produces. Reality is not insane, and I have real thoughts as well as insane ones. I can therefore see a real world if I look to my real thoughts as my guide for seeing. So in here again, it's reminding us that our egoic thoughts are the insane thoughts. And those are the thoughts that we are thinking. I've heard 95% of the time, and I've heard 99.9% of the time. So as we were thinking those thoughts we project out there in the world. And then we see this meaningless world from that thought system, from the ego thought system. But it's telling us here for us to, to reflect on the fact that reality, the thoughts of God are not insane. The thoughts of the ego are chaos. There's suffering, there's stress, there's anxiety, there's discomfort. And in the thoughts of God, or God, who God is for us is love and peace and happiness. So it said, I can see a real world. The real world is through the mind of God, the thoughts of God. And that's only if we look at our real thoughts, because they are our guide to true seeing, to the vision of Christ, which is true seeing. So number 2 is I'm upset because I see a meaningless world. It says insane thoughts are upsetting. They produce a world in which there is no order anywhere. Only chaos rules, a world that represents chaotic thinking, and chaos has no laws. I cannot live in peace in such a world. I am grateful that this world is not real, and that I need not see it at all unless I choose to value it. And I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning. So that last line says, I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning. But take a look, reflect on, what are you putting value on? In this world, this chaotic world that we live in, just take, for example, how much emphasis we put on money, thinking that money is what is going to bring us happiness. Buying that new car is going to bring us happiness. Oh, yes, it may bring us some happiness for the moment. But when that car breaks down, are we happy? And, when we're driving that car in the middle of traffic, trying to get somewhere, and there's all kinds of traffic. Are we happy in that car? There's just a lot of as it says, insane thoughts. And, anything that, we're thinking that's going to give us value in this world is really insane. Because the happiness that we're looking for is within us. It's not without us. It's not outside of us. So again, remember that expression, the world is not being done to me, it's being done by me. And the world's not coming at me, it's coming from me. So we are, as we go along here, that we are given the opportunity as we go through the day. We're not going to be doing it all the time, but to the best of our ability to be checking into how we are thinking and what we are thinking. So number 3 is a meaningless world engenders fear. The totally insane engenders fear because it is completely undependable and offers no grounds for trust. Nothing in madness is dependable. It holds out no safety and no hope. But such a world is not real. I have given it the illusion of reality and have suffered from my belief in it. We believe this world is going to bring us happiness. Now I choose to withdraw this belief and I place my trust in reality, placing our trust in God. In choosing this, I will escape all the effects of the world of fear because I am acknowledging that it does not exist. So, we are so insecure or looking for security in this outer world. And we are so coming from scarcity. And yet, in God's world, what there is abundance and prosperity and peace and love, as I've already mentioned. So, when we're living in this meaningless world, just look at all the fear. Be really honest with yourself. Look how much of what you are doing is fear driven. I mentioned money already. How much is that coming from scarcity? Fear that you're not going to have enough. So I'm going to go on to number 4. God did not create a meaningless world. How can a meaningless world exist if God did not create it? He is the source of all meaning, and everything that is real is in his mind. And, God's mind is part of our mind, but we're focusing mainly on the egoic mind, the egoic thoughts. It is in my mind too, because he created it in me. I just said that. His mind is in each one of us. Why should I continue to suffer from the effects of my own insane thoughts when the perfection of creation is my home? Our true nature is love. Our true nature is peace. Our true nature is abundance. So let me remember the power of my decision and recognize where I really reside. We can decide in any moment to invite the Holy Spirit in. When we're triggered, when we're feeling in stress and anxiety, when we're not at our peace, that's how, as I've done this course over the years, that's where I know that I need to invite the Holy Spirit in. I know after lots of practice, and I continue to practice, is that when I'm out of my peace, I'm up here in the thoughts of the ego. And I am not trusting, and I'm not in the space of faith that God is got my back. As I've been told, God's got my back, both sides, in my center. That I just need to turn to God and I will be directed. So 5, my thoughts are images that I have made. Whatever I see reflects my thoughts. It is my thoughts that tell me where I am and what I am. The fact that I see a world in which there is suffering and loss and death shows me that I am seeing only the representation of my thoughts, my insane thoughts, my egoic thoughts, and am not allowing my real thoughts to cast their beneficial light on what I see. Yet God's way is sure. The images I have made cannot prevail against him, because it is my will that they do so. My will is his will, and I will place no other gods before me. You know, placing no God, other gods before me. How many idols of this world do we place before God? That's the question to ask ourselves. And again, whatever I or we are seeing outside of us is coming from us. How often do we think that, you know, there's something out there that's coming at me? No, there's something over here that I have projected out there and created the perception of that. There's something inside me that needs to be healed. There's something inside you that needs to be healed. When what you are perceiving out there is chaos and attack, where you are attacking yourself and betraying yourself. And it says here, my will is his, God's will. And I place no other gods before him. That's what the goal is, as we undo the ego in the practice of this course. So one more thing I want to add here is that the fact that I see a world in which there is suffering and loss and death, it shows that we believe in that we believe in this body, that we have forgotten that we are not separated from God. When we believe in that, we believe we are separated from God. When we believe in suffering, loss, and death, it's because we have separated from God. So I think I repeated myself there, but anyways, the course is going to tell us down the road there is no world. The course is going to tell us as well that we are not this body and that we are free. I'll leave it at that till you get to that point in the course. Right now, practice this lesson today, and as it directs you to do so. And it is, again, for each one of us individually to become awake and aware to what it is that we are thinking and what value we are putting on our thinking and what idols we are putting before God. All right. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for being here. And I look forward to being with you for the next lesson, which is lesson 54. Have a miracle-filled day. Bye for now.